Yes, guys, and welcome to the Liverpool vs Sunderland match review, where Sunderland did get themselves a brilliant point last night against the reigning champions Liverpool at Anfield. Despite their rocky season so far, it's still a very, very tall order, particularly to ask a newly promoted side to go to Anfield and perform in the manner in which we did and get a point. And the general consensus and feeling I'm getting from the Sunderland fan base over the last sort of 12 hours or so, myself included, is we're all thinking, how the hell are we leaving Anfield with a point and feeling somewhat disappointed that we didn't get all three? You know, and that's not to say that Liverpool were horrendous. It's just that we were very, very good and we made very good chances and arguably should have come away with 3 points. And I don't think anyone could have argued if we did come away with 3 points. But of course, before the game, if someone offered me a 1-0 draw, I would have snapped your hand off for it. Absolutely snapped your hand off for it. But again, like many reviews this season, I'm going to start off by saying how stupendously proud I am of those boys. I really, really am so proud. They just make me so proud week in, week out. Even, you know, win, lose or draw. Granted, we haven't lost too many times, fortunately, so far this season. But even when things haven't gone our way, the one thing you can't argue against these lads is that they're not putting in 110%. If things aren't quite coming off in the field, even so, and even then, you still can't question the work ethic, the passion, the commitment, because we're seeing it again and again and again. Everyone's just moving in the same direction. Every ball, the body on the line for absolutely everything, and everyone has the exact same mindset and a team mentality across the entirety of the squad. Even players on the bench, they know the roles. Everyone's doing it for the team. Everyone's moving in the same direction, and you don't see it. And there is something special about this team at the minute. And of course, we're only 14 games in, but we keep on saying, oh, it's only this amount of games in, only that amount of games in, and we're still just proving people wrong. And long may it fucking continue, because I'm just loving it at the minute. But yeah, I've got a few points I am going to go over throughout this review, so it's probably not going to be much of a match review. You know what I'm like. I like to ramble, I like to talk crap and go way off topic sometimes, but that's what we're here for. That's what Jamsarny does. So make yourself a cuppa, make yourself a brew, and listen if you want. And any thoughts, drop a comment. Hit the like button on the video. Subscribe if you are new. Let's talk shit. So yes, we did get the point last night at Anfield. As you can see here is the team. It wasn't quite the 5-3-2 that I might have suggested in the preview to this game, but I was very, very happy with the lineup. I was really excited to see Robbie up top to start as well. The five at the back, yet again, I say it time and time again, there's still some people, there are not too many people. I think some are starting to come around a little bit now. Granted, I know that the five at the back should be used in very specific situations. I think going away to a team like Liverpool is a perfect situation to do it in. But even last night, you could see if you play it correctly against certain teams, it is nowhere near as defensive as it looks. All it does is, out of possession, it just gives you the best possible chance to keep goals conceded to a minimum. And it makes the opposition have to work incredibly hard to make any chances for themselves, or at least clear-cut chances. But going forward, like last night shown, we looked so dangerous and slick in our movement going forward. And it was so good to see, Robbie working his arse off. He was really battering both, Konate and Van Dijk. He wasn't shying away from any challenges. It was really good battles, to be fair, between both Konate and Robbie at times. Because, Konate himself, he's a big brick shithouse. And up against Robbie, who he just seems to just throw plays around like rag dolls, because he is just such a unit, isn't he? Everyone was just working the socks off. Everyone was defensively as well. No one was shying of, tracking back or shying away and not tending to their defensive duties. But then going forward, we all moved as a unit. Everyone was busting their gut to try and make something happen. We hit the bar. We hit the post as well with Alderete. We had plenty of opportunities, and of course right at the death as well. Wilson Isidore, you should argue that he could have made it and maybe should have made it 2-1 as well. But in the game in general, I'm not going to go into too much detail and too many different patterns of play and what have you. But what I found, again, this is where I am probably going to go off on a tangent, so be prepared. So I watched the game last night. If you follow us on Instagram, you would have seen the picture with me and my best mate. He's a Liverpool fan, massive Liverpool fan, and it was really, really nice to do that again, because we haven't been in the Premier League for so long, and it used to be, you know, twice a year when Sunderland take on Liverpool, I'd go to my mate's house or he'd come to mine, and we'd go to the pub and we watch Sunderland Liverpool together. And it was always just nice to do that, you know, a bit of banter, your best mate's team against your team, and just doing that, having a few beers and banter and a laugh and a few heated moments while I was watching the game. It was just so nice to have that back again. It was really, really nice. But what I noticed on the commentary team, and this is what we get all the time, when Sunderland do well, newly promoted team against someone like a Liverpool or a Chelsea or an Arsenal, they don't give credit to Sunderland when we score. Because up until we did score with Talby, brilliant goal, it took a big deflection of Van Dijk, but still we had to work our arses off for it, and we got it. I was buzzing, of course. Absolutely incredible scenes. Sprinting around my mate's kitchen. It was quite the time. But up until we did get that goal, the commentary team, you know, Jamie Carragher, no one ever said that Liverpool were having an off game. Not at one point, because I don't think they were poor. We were just better in some areas. They were better in others. We limited them to very little opportunities, really, or we kept them at a premium. All their chances they really had to work hard for, of course. But not at any point did the commentary team say that Liverpool were bad. The second we scored, Carragher started saying, oh, they've been woeful, they've been way off it today, it's this, that and the other. It's not just generally a good contest between two teams. Of course, I know Liverpool have better players than us and stuff, but on the day, both teams were playing well. We scored a goal. Give us credit because we were brilliant and we were more than worth that goal. But anyway, that one's over with. Well, yeah, it's just frustrating, you know, that we just don't get the credit I think we deserve sometimes because we worked our asses off for it, and rather than saying we were good, it's Liverpool is shit, Liverpool are off the game and blah, blah, blah. But either way, we kept on going, and of course, the only time where I really felt like we were going to concede was the back end of that game where we started to defend for our lives, throwing players on, and that back five was really getting tested. Haterada, come on, we had loads of defenders on. Luke O'Nien, come on, and this is going to be another tangent I'm about to go on, because honestly, Luke O'Nien, when he come on, and I didn't expect it at all. I'm watching the TV, I'm watching the game, and of course, really heated, emotions are all over the place anyway, and it just felt like everything came to a standstill. Like my jaw dropped when I saw Luke O'Nien warming up to getting stripped off to come on the pitch, and his number come up on the assistants board, and it just immediately, it was so emotional. And what I mean by that is, I think for one thing, for Luke O'Nien, the journey he's been on, even though he was brought on as a left winger basically, and he had to go toe to toe with Mo Salah, which is a hell of a Premier League debut for Luke O'Nien. But when he come on, I just thought, you know, the journey he's been on from League One I was there for his debut, Sunderland against Charlton, our first game in League One when we got relegated from the Championship. It's been well documented, he's acknowledged it himself. He had a horror debut and then had to really work his way back into the team. He was getting shoehorned in different positions, here, there and everywhere, worked his arse off, and he's become a hell of a player. And he's obviously helped us come up from League One to the Championship to the Premier League, and last season in the Championship he was arguably one of the best centre-backs in the Championship. His ball-playing ability, his defending in general has gone from strength to strength, and I know there's still a portion of the fan base that they writ him off from day one and they've already made their mind up on him and they just won't budge and they say he's overrated, this, that and the other. But you don't get promoted twice by accident. You don't go through the catalogue of managers we've gone through and they all seem to pick Luke O'Nien. They can't all just be a fluke or by chance that Luke O'Nien manages to get picked for these teams. He has been the mainstay. So for one point, it was, I was proud of Luke O'Nien for his journey, but what him coming on represented was how far we've come. And I did feel quite emotional. It was like someone was cutting onions in there, in that kitchen watching the game. But when I saw him come on, it did just epitomise our journey. When he came on the pitch, all I could see was League One from Accrington Stanley to Anfield and us competing with Liverpool. And it was a very, very emotional moment. And I'm absolutely buzzing for him. And he thoroughly deserves it, Luke O'Nien. Deserves it through and through. And if you are going to hit the like button on the video, not for me today or for this video in particular, Do it for Luke O'Nien, because he fucking deserves it, man. I absolutely love that bloke. But yeah, so, yeah, it's been a bit all over the place, this video, hasn't it? But I told you I had a couple of tangents to go off on. But yeah, I was just so proud of the man. So proud, so happy for him. And I've just watched, his video, his post-match interview after the game, which it was nearly tearing up on a little bit. And that nearly set me going. You know, I'm an emotional man in the first place, but dear God, you don't want to see Luke O'Nien cry. That could make a full-grown man cry. But yeah, I was really happy. But yeah, when we eventually did, of course, concede a goal anyway. This was prior to O'Nien, but when they did score the goal, Wirtz, it's a shame because I think Talby lost the ball first, but it's not directly his fault. Wirtz still has like 9 other players to try and take on. Maybe someone should have hit him harder or got tighter on him on the edge of the box, but he's managed to strike the ball, takes a deflection and beats Roos 1-0, and then they really pinned us back as we expected, but everyone put the bodies on the line. So proud of him. And then the last minute of the game, Roos with an absolutely insane ball through for Wilson Isidore on the counter-attack. He claims the ball and he just pings it. I thought he was going to hold on to it or lie down on the ball. We'll hold out for the draw. But no one at any point were we time wasting or really trying to see the game out. We did 1-0. We still wanted to go for it. He pings the ball out perfectly. It's a perfectly timed one for Isidore. One-on-one with a keeper that he's fizzed him through Roofs. One-on-one with Alisson. Manages to take it past him. And I think he just needed to put his foot through it a bit more, but he hasn't put too much power on it. He just tried to nick it in after he's rounded Alisson, and Chiesa was there to clear it off the line. And that would have been the perfect night at Anfield, because we haven't won at Anfield in decades, and it would have made the perfect night. And I think that's why, because of that glaring opportunity, that's why some people feel a little bit aggrieved after it, but mental in it to think we're coming away with a point from Anfield and feeling in any way disappointed. But it is what it is. And I think Wilson needs story as well. I noticed on his Instagram as well, he posted on his story basically an apology for that miss. And you know, Wilson, you do not need to apologise, man. You do not need to apologise. You've done way more good than bad for this club. You know, it happens. It was a good clearance from Chiesa. Maybe, yes, could have done the A, B, C, D, E, F, G, but that's just life, man. You know, it's a missed opportunity. We go again. We got a point from Anfield, and you know, we wouldn't be where we are right now, maybe, without Wilson Isidore. Do you know what I mean? So I'm not holding anything against him. I don't think any other Sunderland fans are as frustrating as chances like that are when they don't hit the back of the net. But yeah, we come away with a point at Anfield. We've got Manchester City next. Don't get much easier, does it? We're currently 6th in the table, 14 games in, 6th in the league, and it's going well, but we need to keep on going. You know, I thought, you know, after that Bournemouth game, I did have a feeling that because they put so much graft into that game against Bournemouth, it was just relentless and non-stop. I did have a feeling that this could have been a cricket score in Liverpool's favour, particularly given they've just picked up a win against West Ham, and then to take on us, and I thought we'd be shattered. We'd only have 3 days in between games, but we just kept going and going and going, and I'm expecting more of the same against City now. Not necessarily expecting a win or maybe even a point, but these lads, regardless of rest time in between, they just seem to just pull energy out their arse and put everything into a game. So yeah, I'm so proud of the boys, And my man of the match today goes to Ronaldo. I failed to mention it any earlier in the video somehow, but he was absolutely, it was incredible. The work rate again from all of them, but some of the defensive work he does and dragging us forward. You know, that blistering pace down the line, some recoveries he made, challenging tackles. You know, keeping that right-hand side quiet. When Salah come on as well, he went toe-to-toe with him. Did perfectly fine. And he was just, he was a man on a mission yesterday. He was a man possessed. He was that good. He was outstanding, 10 out of 10 for me. There was a load of good performances last night, but Ronaldo stuck out like a sore thumb. But I'm going to leave it there, guys. I know it's been a little bit all over the place, but I think it was just a bit of an emotional one. And as you know, again, I am a big soft arse, and I like to ramble and have me emotional, my little emotional rambles as well. But how do you feel with the game last night? Let me know in the comments. And if you've enjoyed the video, hit the like button for me. Subscribe if you're new. But for now, stay jammy. How are the lads? Keep the faith.